Today, on Independent Wrestling Profiles, we're talking with the Skywalkin KJ Swayde. What do you remember about discovering professional wrestling and starting that journey into fandom?
Man, so it's funny. So my parents actually used to be fans back in the Attitude Era, but it was very not appropriate. So they didn't even introduce me to it when I was a kid. I was born in 2002, so I missed all that anyways. But I actually was on my dad's laptop and found a video game trailer for SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then I just thought it was a video game thing. And then I went to Ireland because that's where my mom's family's from. And my cousin was watching like the real thing. So now these video game characters are actual people and like Jeff Hardy's a real person. You know what I mean? I was mind blown. And ever since then, I've been absolutely just hooked onto it. Even funnier, that cousin, I saw him recently because I went back to Ireland and he does not watch wrestling at all anymore. He doesn't care at all. And I'm now a wrestler. So we've completely just switched. But yeah, just finding out the video game characters are actually like real life superheroes was the coolest thing to me as a 5-year old. So yeah.
Did you get to play the video game, or was it just the trailer that you saw?
No, it was just the trailer, and then I found some video game like videos on YouTube that I just watched, and then I finally, once we got back from Ireland, I convinced my parents to get me SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 on the Wii because I didn't have a PlayStation or anything like that, so it was like not the best graphics or anything like that, but yeah, and I asked my parents, bro, I was not caring about anything other than wrestling from that point forward, pretty much.
So I love to explore this. There's been a few people that were introduced to wrestling through the video games before they got into the actual product. So I'm always curious, when you were playing the video game on Wii and things like that, was there a particular character that you really liked or disliked that then when you went and saw it on TV and actually saw like the segments and the performances in the ring, you completely changed your mind on them?
It's funny, actually. Yeah, like for me, it was the popular superstars who weren't doing crazy things. So, like, I would never use Triple H or I'd never use John Cena or Batista on the video game because they weren't doing high flying stuff like Jeff Hardy and Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston's my number one, like, idol, by the way. But um, I didn't think they were like that. Like, I thought that those guys were the stars. No, they were. But then watching it and seeing like, oh dang, like these guys actually are the top of the business and they don't have to pretty much kill themselves every night because they are that good. That's when I realized like, and then also you don't see personality on the video game, you see it on the TV or in person. So I didn't realize why John Cena and Triple H and Batista and Undertaker too were so popular until I watched them as a performer, as a person. Because then I got to see like the charisma out of it and like, oh, okay, I want to see you win. Or someone like JBL, like I need to see you lose. You know what I mean? So yeah, like that's the difference I find because video games all moves and stuff, but then actually watching it, like watching them do the thing, like you realize there's a lot more to it than just moves.
You're gonna have to help me out with the timeline because to me it feels like I don't remember a time where Kofi Kingston wasn't in the WWE. Were you introduced to Jamaican Kofi Kingston or had that
Yes.
already passed?
So hilarious story about that. So growing up, so I'm Jamaican. My dad's Jamaican. So I grew up, well, I didn't grow up Jamaican. I am Jamaican. So to me, no one in the world's Jamaican except my dad. And then I see Usain Bolt win that race, and I was mind blown. I'm like, oh my God, Jamaica's on top of the world. And then it's Olympics. It's once every 4 years. It's not really a big deal. So seeing someone who looks like me do all the crazy stuff that I want to do as a Jamaican, I was mind blown and I was absolutely heartbroken and cried when I found out that Kofi Kingston wasn't actually Jamaican like that. I'm not gonna say it ruined my childhood because it's still my guy, but it's like it's a little different now. You know what I mean? Like he was my Jamaican hero, and now he's just like just my hero, but not Jamaican. You know what I mean? It's different.
That's still the segment where they revealed he wasn't Jamaican was still one of the best fourth wall breaking segments that they've done in WWE in decades.
Man.
So anyway, you go to Ireland, you discover wrestling more in person, and you bring that fandom back. Did you have a chance when you got back here to experience the live event, whether it was a WWE house show or local independent wrestling? Like, when did you actually breach the television and get to see the real thing?
So my first WWE event, I was 7 years old. It was May 2010, and my mom surprised me. So I didn't know how tapings work. So it was Friday Night SmackDown, and tickets are on a Tuesday. I'm like, Mom, this is wrong. It's Fridays. She's like, Nope, they're here today. And then we get there, and it's not SmackDown, it's NXT. And I'm talking like game show NXT. I'm like, Mom, this is wrong. This isn't like the real thing. It's like the rookie. She's like, just trust me. And I listened, and she was right, as always. And yeah, just seeing everything. The craziest one, the first match ever, it was a dark match. It was Kane versus soon to be Alberto Del Rio. He hadn't debuted yet. And I had pizza and Kane's pyro went, and that was my first time hearing pyro in person. And I launched my pizza like 5 rows behind me. And yeah, and it's crazy because I was only 7, so I have like little bits and memories of it, but just the live experience of that, there's nothing I want to do more than just be a part of that full time. And funny thing, CM Punk shaved a bunch of guys' heads bald in that show as part of the Straight Edge Society. And one of those guys I saw when I was 7 is now one of my trainers. So very cool full circle moment. When I found that out, I'm like, oh my God, bro, I was there, you know? So yeah,
Okay,
but
so
just being there when I was 7, it was crazy.
you had alluded that that live event really helped kind of motivate that desire to be a wrestler. Tell me, when did that boil over? Where were you at life? What was going on? What was the trigger event where you were just like, okay, I've had this thought that I want to do it, but now's the time to do it. I'm gonna look up school. I'm gonna look up training. Like, what happened that caused you to actually go and pursue it?
Yeah, so it's funny because I actually did not think it was possible at all because I just didn't think I didn't know about the indies, you know what I mean? But so my friend, I had one friend who I played football with since we were like 9, and we talked about wrestling all the time at school and stuff. And he ended up telling me that there is a wrestling school in Gatineau called The Keep that Eva Luna and Stu Grayson from AEW run. And I was like 16 at this time. And I'm like, oh my God, what? I had no idea. Funny thing, that friend is London Lightning, who's now absolutely killing it and has been everywhere. So we grew up together. But he told me about this. He'd go to C4 shows and he'd come back to school and tell me, like, yo, Cody Rhodes is at this last night. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Why is he there? But yeah, it wasn't until that moment when I found out that it's close and driving distance that, okay, I'm gonna do this. And we signed up, but it was March 2020 was when the first class was supposed to be. So it canceled, never happened. And I thought, okay, well, that's it. You know, I was just gonna focus on school and hopefully football, which didn't pan out. So I'm like, hey, I don't know what to do anymore, you know? And then it just kind of fell in my lap. The school opened up again in 2020. So they had a spot for beginners class now in 2022, and I just hit it, and I've been full go ever since. I'd forgotten all about football. I don't care about any of the sport now except for wrestling, you know what I mean? And I'm very, very happy that I did that because it's changed my life for the better 100%.
Okay, so take me through, if you can recall, some of your feelings walking into school those first few days, those first few weeks. Was it overwhelming? Was it exciting? Was there something that was, like completely surprising? I didn't expect this to be this tough or to come this naturally. Like, just take me through your assimilation into that training.
It's honestly like I felt ready, if I'm being honest. Like there was no fear. If anything, I was a smaller guy. I still am, you know, I'm getting bigger, but not quite yet. So I was really nervous going into it because I thought like I'm gonna be around like these absolutely massive dudes who are so much stronger than me. And mind you, I was around people who are much stronger than me and bigger than me, and they're absolutely killing it now too. But yeah, I took that first bump, and I guess I've just ruined my body from football for the past 10 years. That like it didn't destroy me like I thought it would. So then I got up, did it again, and then I got up and did it again, and then I took some moves, and then I not obviously in that order, but you know, I just as the training progressed, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not sucking at this. I'm actually kind of okay at this. And before I knew it, I was in the advanced class after a few months, and then my first match a year later. So like it all happened really fast, but there was never really a point where I was like nervous at all. I really felt ready, like I was meant to do this, even if I wasn't as good at the start, because most people aren't at the start. Um, but definitely starstruck because, in Ottawa, I don't know if you know about the mystery wrestling shows or the C4
Yep.
shows, just working as an extra and security for those shows and just seeing all the people who I've watched growing up on these shows. I'm like, oh my God, like I feel like I'm a part of it now. So that was probably like a starstruck moment. Like even when I was still training, I'm seeing all these people who are so good and they're right in front of me, and I get to just be there and just observe for free. And yeah, that was probably my biggest eye-opening thing in training was just seeing everything and like how the magic happens, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It was never the physical thing for me because I was always kind of confident in myself for that. It was more just kind of getting it and just seeing it take place in front of me, if that makes sense.
You had alluded to the first match that took place a year later.
Mm.
Take me through that. I know it's probably a very surreal moment getting to help out and see these people and things like that, but what's the feeling when you are told, hey, you're getting the tap on the shoulder, you're going to be in the match, and you're like, oh, I'm not just training for this anymore. I'm actually going to be doing it. Take me through that first match experience.
Brother, the second Stu told me like it's your time, I think I found out 2 months before, and I think I felt like I had to like boot myself every day for those 2 months leading up to it. I actually ordered gear too. It didn't come in on time, so my mom clutched up. I had like these black generic high spots gear, so she like fabric painted it, so I had gear for my first match, which was amazing. But just like being it was the day of like waking up and just going to the venue, setting up the ring and stuff. There was a seminar that morning too for mystery because it was a mystery wrestling show, and I just had this constant pit in my chest the entire time, like, oh my God, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do this, I'm about to be wrestling now. And my opponent was Mathis Meyer. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, which I was very fortunate. He's one of my close friends, and just I had such a pit in my stomach. And I was told from training to now at this debut that it's going to feel like a minute when you're out there. And it was a 12-minute match and it was over just like that. And I was so nervous, but then once I came out the curtain, the nerves turned into just straight like euphoria, if that makes sense. And there's a point in my entrance, you could see it like something just takes over where I'm like, and just super hyped, and I was very, very well trained and put in a great position by my trainers, thankfully. And it just the second the bell rang, I was KJ Swayde now. I wasn't who I am. I am KJ now. And it just I'm very happy with that match for a first match, especially. And um sorry, I lost my train of thought there, but yeah, just coming out the curtain, all the nerves turned to pure excitement, and I just felt so confident in there. I wasn't overthinking. I was never lost. It was just, I just felt like at home. And then getting to have my second match and just more matches has just made me feel even more like a wrestler. Even I'm kind of a mark. Seeing my name on Cage Match is cool as hell, bro. Like when I saw like dark KJ Swayde versus Matt Dismire on the same card that has like Orange Cassidy, Eddie Kingston, I'm like, hell yeah, Ron made it. You know what I mean? So that was super cool. So yeah, just straight nerves the 2 months to the debut, and then the second the debut was over, it's just like I'm in this now, and this is my life now, and I'm going to make the most out of this. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
very happy with that.
Absolutely. So you get the first match out under your belt, and now you've had a couple of years that you're running the circuit.
Mhm.
Can you take me through some of the highlights, maybe some of the first things that come to your mind if you think back on your career? And I don't necessarily mean the best match you had. It might have been a milestone moment. It might have been a fan interaction, or it could have even been like a surreal moment, chance encounter with somebody. Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think back to your career right now?
Um, Honestly, so for me, like starting from training, C4 was like I have a lot like I had my goal is obviously one of or both of the major companies, but
Hmm.
I also have little goals, and C4 was one of my goals. And I didn't think it was going to happen at all in my first year, and I was fortunate enough to just be there in the right place at the right time. And I was told, "Hey, Griffin McCoy, he wasn't supposed to be here, but he hopped in the car from the States, so he's here. We don't have somebody. Do you and Alvin Turner want a team with him and his partner? And this is my eighth match. I'm
Hmm.
like, uh, absolutely. So I went out there and it was, I'm terrible with numbers. I'm about to Hulk Hogan this like crazy, but I think it was like 500, 600 people there. And just, I don't know, being on C4 against like a well-established name like him and his partner, Pat Dynamite, who's also absolutely amazing. And once again, not feeling like I'm out of place. Like that was super cool. That was a huge experience because it was only my eighth match and I'm sure they would have rathered a better match on the main card, but for me as a complete rookie who at that point was only like 3 months in the business, having that experience and not completely just messing it up, in my opinion, maybe people thought otherwise, but for me, I didn't think I messed it up. So having that experience against a well-established person who's wrestled many high-profile names, I was really happy with that. And that was my first kind of like, okay, I'm in a good spot right now. And then as for Starstruck, like meeting someone, bro, like all the mystery shows, Uno, I don't know how the hell he does this, but he gets everybody. You know what I mean? So that was, I don't know, just meeting all those people and stuff, like that's always been super cool.
All right, so you had mentioned that one of your goals, and I'm sure this is the case for everybody, is one of the big contracts, right?
Mhm.
And I don't want to talk end game here because that is maybe going to happen, maybe not. But what are the more immediate goals? Like if I was to ask you, hey, where would you like to see yourself wrestle next week? Or whether that be a company or a destination, or who would you still like to square up with that's maybe running around the circuit that you haven't had a chance to get in the ring with? Like, what are some of the early bucket list items that you want to cross off?
It's a good one. So for matches, I haven't wrestled my trainer, Stu Grayson, yet, which would be amazing. London Lightning, who obviously I've known for many years. We've never wrestled one-on-one as well, just rumbles. And then Junior Benito, who's someone I've looked up to since I started training. Because it's funny, he's only a year older than me, but it's like I kind of see myself in him and like I want to be where he is. So having that one-on-one match is an absolute major goal of mine. So any company watching this, I will absolutely do that for no money. Just let me know. But those are my three for sure because I think those would be really good matches because I think I know them the best. And as for places, I'm fortunate because I have a lot of friends in Toronto, a lot of family in Toronto, and I'm able to wrestle in Toronto until July when I wrestled at Superkicked for the first time. And that was nuts. The crowd like screamed my theme song back at me. That was like an out of body experience, like crazy. So that was a bucket list. And now I want to do just other shows in Toronto, like Smash, Greektown. Uh, I'm sure I'm missing some others. I'm blanking a lot all the time, but I just want to venture out. Like I've done a lot of Ottawa, I've done a lot of Quebec, but I want to do more. And whether it's out of province or just farther in the province or out of the country, like the States. Just my goal is to keep going to places I've never gone before and making a mark on them so they want to keep bringing me back because a huge inspiration of mine right now is Von Vertigo. Like he is freaking everywhere. He's everywhere. Like this man has like 15 flags in his bio because he's been all over the place. So, and he's doing it and he loves it and he's killing it. And if I could get to that level, that is a major goal of mine. I'm just trying to be everywhere and succeed everywhere and just kind of be someone who people want to have on their shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's amazing. I've actually asked that question a lot of times, and Von Vertigo has come up as the name of like, that's who I want to wrestle. But I've never heard anybody say I want to hit that level, which is actually pretty awesome because yeah, he's been all over the place. Now,
I don't think he realizes how impactful he is. Like he is absolutely setting the standard and it's awesome to see for real.
yeah, well, I mean, anytime you can see a Canadian out there repping us so well and doing so much, it's always great, and we want to see more of it for
Damn
sure.
right.
Now, forget about reality, okay? This is
Yeah.
going to be Wrestling Interview 101 here. The dream opponent. Now, it has to be somebody that is still lacing up their boots right now. I don't want to open it up to history, but if you could get in the ring with anybody who is working today, I wave a wand and I say, tomorrow you are facing, who would it be and why?
As a kid, I would have said Kofi and Jeff Hardy because they're my two idols. And I know they're still working. But right now, bro, Javon Evans, man, like that I think would be a match I would love to have anywhere, anytime. Someone like him, Leon Slater, which their match, by the way, last weekend was insane. But
Uh-huh.
um, yeah, definitely Javon Evans because I think we have very similar styles. And even though he's 2 years younger than me, he's kind of like my like muse right now of what I'm trying to be because he does otherworldly stuff that I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? So that'd be a match for sure. Carmelo Hayes as well, I think would be another one that I would absolutely love to have if it ever happens. But yeah, I think those three for sure are matches I would love to have anytime, anywhere. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I said don't let reality stop you because sometimes the opportunities are just waiting for you to present yourself to them.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked a lot about actual matches, but I want to get into your mind a little bit about your character work. If somebody was to go to a show and see you wrestle for the first time, what's kind of like the image, the idea that you want to leave them about KJ Swayde when they leave the show?
Well, I say I'm the smoothest brother in the game, and I know I say that, but I also try to show that every match. Whether you like me or you don't like me, depending on how you're feeling, how I'm feeling that day, I try to make it the same. You know what I mean? So you're gonna see someone who is always gonna try something new and just push the limit as much as possible. And I personally believe I have the swagger that exudes, and I hope that shows in the ring, and I try to make it the case. And yeah, I just try to seem as confident as possible because I am as confident as possible and just kind of show up and show out, like I always say. So if you see me for the first time, my goal is to entertain you, whoop some behind, and make you just want to come see me again. And also, I got a banger theme song. So if you're singing to that theme song and then you see me kick some ass, that's even better. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to put on a show, but also, show out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let's step away from the ring for a minute. You have a bit of time to recharge the batteries, maybe even just to rest some, tired bones, recover from some injuries. What kind of stuff does KJ Swade like to do outside of the ring?
I love meeting people, and just hanging out with my friends and stuff. My main thing right now, I love doing everything with my girlfriend. Like she's my whole life right now and forever. And I don't know, just experiences like that, just even just chilling, watching a movie. Love that. But then if it's not with her, I love hanging out with my friends. I'm a supply teacher on the side as well, so I love working because it's never the same thing every day. I hate doing the same thing every day. So that job is just amazing. And if I'm not doing that, I'm in school, and that is whooping me harder than I've whooped anybody in the ring right now. So if I'm not with my girlfriend, with my friends, working or doing school, then I'm probably just playing video games, like sports video games. Like I don't play COD or GTA. I'm a huge just NHL, Madden, 2K, FIFA, all that kind of stuff. And then now that in Canada, Netflix has WWE, like literally every pay-per-view ever. That is something that has taken up majority of my time this year, and my girl probably hates it now. But it's on Netflix. It's there for me to watch it. So if yeah, I'm either doing nothing and playing video games and watching wrestling, or I'm with my girlfriend, with my friends, or getting my ass whipped by school. So it's a very, very simple life right now, for sure, but in a good way.
So there's a big teaching and learning element here. I notice you train in wrestling, but you're also a student and you're supply teaching. Have you ever thought about maybe down the road also parlaying that into teaching other generations of wrestling once, not to say that you're done wrestling, but once you've, done your fair share and you've had your years of experience and you want to pass that knowledge along, is that something that you've ever considered?
Absolutely. And there's a new cycle of beginners classes every year, and I try to go to the beginners classes every now and then, and not like my trainers are my trainers, but it's cool to know that I'm kind of getting more experience because now I'm noticing things that beginners are doing where I'm like, I know how to help correct this. So I'm hoping that the farther I get in my career, I gain more knowledge, and I'd love to absolutely pass it on if I can, if they want me to. But my main goal right now is if I could lead a match with someone less experienced than me, and it's a really good match, I think that is just as big as training, in my opinion, because that kind of trains both of us. It trains them how to listen, and it kind of trains me how to, be a better wrestler because I'm at the moment right now in my career where I'm the listener, bro. I'm just trying to just be a sponge and just get everything. But in the future, yeah, if the opportunity arises, I would love to train other future wrestlers because that'd mean that I hopefully have gained a wealth of knowledge myself. So that means that everything has gone the way I've wanted it to so far.
All right, so I'm going to actually put you to the test on that a little bit here because I ask everybody this question before signing out, and it is a little bit of an opportunity. The idea behind the question is to give back a little bit, but I just structure it a little differently. You have
Okay.
an opportunity to go back and talk to a younger version of yourself who is just getting into the training or is maybe debating getting into the training. What is the most important piece of advice that you would have given yourself in those early days that maybe somebody listening right now could take to heart about their own personal journey?
Um, I struggle with it now too. So I tell the younger version of myself, like, you are your worst critic. Stop thinking so much. And a lot of things that you see that are not good about yourself, whether it's in the ring, how you look, or just in general, is not reality. That's just you just getting in your own head. So I would tell myself like just chill out and just take a step back and just think like, am I actually the problem or like is it just in my head? Because there'll be a lot of times where I just completely just dog on myself for the littlest things, but then a fan will come to me and be like, that was the best match I ever seen. Now, mind you, I don't know if that's their first show or not, but regardless, the fact that I made a crowd of people feel something and I'm just down on myself over a simple mess up, like just take a breather. You know what I mean? Like you're as much as you want to make this a career, you're also here to have fun and you're gonna ruin it for yourself if you only focus on the things you're doing wrong because you're not doing everything wrong. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
think I just
no,
tell
no,
myself
I
to
get
just
it.
just chill out, not overthink so much, which is way easier said than done, and just have fun with it. Because I think I struggle with that a lot, is I kind of forget the fun part and just really focus on what I'm not doing right, which is not gonna have a lead to a happy career, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I completely appreciate what you're saying because honestly, nobody has ever had a career where they went in and never made a mistake,
You
right?
know?
Like you will make mistakes, and how you react to them is probably more important than how the mistake plays out. And in some cases, that's the best learning experience. So I totally get what you're saying, and I appreciate it. And hopefully, it sometimes it's easier said than done, but
Way easier said than
hopefully,
done.
hopefully some people get that. So before we sign out, can you just let people know once again who you are, maybe where they can follow you on social media, see what you got coming up?
Of course. So, my name is the smoothest brother in the game, Skywalkin KJ Swayde. I'm from Ottawa, Ontario. So, if there's ever a show in Ottawa, pull up, see your boy. I'm kind of just everywhere though. You can catch me in Montreal, somewhere in Quebec, Toronto, hopefully other places. You never know. But you can follow me on. Let me forget. I always forget if there's a dot in it or not. I don't think there is. I don't have Twitter because I like enjoy my sanity, so I only have Instagram. It's KJ.Swayde, and it's not like Swayde the word, it's KJ.SWAYDE. That's where you can get my Instagram. That's all I have at the moment because it's too much. Um, and yeah, you could, I don't know, if you just go to wrestling shows, bro. If I'm there, I'm there. If I'm not, I'm not. But just support the product. There's a lot of amazing people in Ontario and Quebec who could be on TV and might be on TV in the future. You could be seeing future stars or legends. So just pull up to a show. If I'm there, that's amazing. Hopefully, it's the best match of the night. If not, oh well. But if I'm not there, it's still going to be a great show. So just go to shows, look for it. One thing I didn't realize about wrestling until I became one is how big the community is. Like I legit thought it was WWE and that's it until I became training. And there's literally shows every weekend. I'm like, how did I not know about this until I was 19? You know what I mean? Like there's
Mhm.
everywhere. So just look for shows, man. Sorry, I ramble like I got ADHD, so I'm all over the place all the time.
Don't worry about
But yeah,
it.
man. You could find me anywhere, and if I'm not there, look somewhere else. I'm probably there.
All right. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate your time.
I probably appreciate it too. It was my first interview, so that's another bucket list item I got to check off. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to Independent Wrestling Profiles. Please help out the show if you can with a like, subscription, or review. We'll see you next time.
This program is a proud part of the Swear to Pod Network.